St. Kitts, the mother colony of the West Indies in the 17th and 18th centuries. The first island permanently settled by both the English and the French, but one of the last islands to identify its national dish and national beer.
Welcome to Culture Beat. During colonialism, the Caribbean was indelibly influenced by a diverse and colorful mixture of cultures: French, Spanish, African, Dutch, and Amerindian. The cross-pollination of ethnicity is evident in the way we speak, how we dress, and ultimately how we live.
Through history, Caribbean islands with their alluring appeal have often fallen prey to the idealized vision of foreigners.
One way that islands in the Caribbean have chosen to preserve their distinct cultures is by creating a national wear and a national dish that truly represents the expression and style of their people. In 2003, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis celebrated 20 years of independence and introduced its own traditional national wear and national dish.
I believe that establishing a formal national dress helps us, first of all, in the research to decide what the national dress will be, to investigate our own selves, our history, our culture, our heritage, our people, things that we are known for. And in that investigation, we would want to put together a series of aspects, if you will, of who we are, that can come together in formulating a national dress. The process itself is one that is educational. To the extent that it was a competition, it provided all of the persons who participated an opportunity to inquire about who are we really as a people. What can we put together in such a way that it creates a national dress? Aspects of our reality, past and present. With regard to the national dish, the Caribbean really is a zone of spices and exotic tastes, but as similar as we are as Caribbean nations, each Caribbean island nation itself would want to be associated with its own taste, a taste of that particular nation. And I believe we had a rich array of tastes from which to choose. But the eventual national dish of saltfish and coconut dumplings with plantain, etc., I believe truly sums up what we are about in terms of the exotic tastes that come together to create this dish. I want to express my congratulations at this point to Jacqueline Ryan, but to say that perhaps more than any other dish, this is what real St. Kitts-Nevis food is about.
Charged with the responsibility of establishing a national wear and a national dish, the Department of Culture decided to launch a competition. So the competition was held inviting persons involved in the visual arts, persons involved in the culinary arts, designers, and enthusiasts. A number of entries were submitted in both areas, and a public display was put on at the National Museum and here at the Ministry of Culture, so that the public, along with the persons who were selected to do the adjudication, had an opportunity to scrutinize the entries, and 2 winners were selected. I think the establishment of a national wear and a national dish speaks to the identity of a people. And the Department of Culture would ensure that opportunities would be provided for persons to exhibit this pride.
People who were interested in taking part in the National Wear competition were asked to follow very strict guidelines. They had to do their designs and mount it on manila paper. There was a specific size. They had to give designs for both male and female. They had to take into consideration the history of the island. They had to submit swatches, fabric swatches. They had to indicate specific information as to, the relevance of the outfits to the history and all of those things.
The judging process had to begin at the committee level. We determined what it is we were looking for. We were looking for 3 areas in terms of sensitizing the general public and educating. That was our main mission. So we looked at 3 areas. 1, research and the skills behind researching. 2, we looked at national pride and sense of identity between St. Kitts-Nevis and the common grounds that we have between us. And we also looked at the illustration and presentation design skills.
After a close competition, the winning design was chosen. A collaborative effort by family members and friends warranted the efforts of the winners. Dwayne Weeks, Grace, Joylet, and Vaughn Woodley.
The competition required that an explanation of the outfits be submitted, showing the symbolism of St. Kitts and Nevis in the design.
We wanted to create a dress that would represent a more Caribbean feature, something I would like to say a Caribbeanness, because the Caribbean is not just about Africa, it's not about Europe or any of the other civilizations. The French women in the Caribbean wore a print, something like this. It was classy, and again, it was cheap. So that I also try to bear in mind when we're putting the design and the color together. What you find happening is during national shows, the contestants, the girls who were entering, they would wear a print, something like this. Apparently they thought it was nice, it was fashionable. The basic dress itself is made of cotton, and if you note, the skirt is not attached to the dress. And the purpose for this is that when the skirt was worn back in the early 20th century and before, the women who wore these dresses, they wanted something that was very functional. If they had to slip into town, the top would come off, because the top that is made of crocus was used as a means of protecting the dress itself. And you will notice that there's a colored soda wrap. Well, this was added to the dress to act as a reminder of the days when the women were in the cane field, dropping soda. They would, I think this thing should be like a pouch, okay, and the soda would go inside. And you notice attached to the waist of the dress is this kind of drawstring bag. And the drawstring bag was used to, put in any small change if they had to go to market. At the top there's like a drawstring, and for the younger women, the Caribbean is hot. So if this inner padding is removed, it can be worn without the backing. And if for the more conservative individual, the backing can be worn still with the drawstring. And you notice the drawstring matches the crocus that is used on the dress also. The headdress, of course, women are always trying to be fashionable. Even back then when things was tight. Okay, so they had a colorful headdress often to match the soda wrap. The male outfit is basic. It's a basic crocus pant. However, because of the material of crocus, an alternative was used. But back then, what was done, let me see if we could get down here. The crocus would be lined with any kind of cotton material, you know, to protect the skin from any discomfort. And that was just the basic male outwear, the pant. Now the shirt now, we wanted to reflect something again that was very Caribbean, very West Indian. And the only thing that I would say right now reflect a West Indian shirt that was very dressy and even classy is the jack shirt. And if you look at the Forbes Burnham era and times like those, these men often wore jack shirt. They had different kinds, okay? They had some for the more formal occasion and the semi-formal occasion. And this was the basic idea behind the male shirt. The hat again, like the woman's headdress, you know, it reflected something that was very West Indian. When you go out in the sun in the field, you know, a hat was often worn. Of course, this is a pretty classy straw hat. But back then, often it was maybe a piece of cardboard or something like that.
There were a lot of satisfying areas when you come to designing and making the dress, and the entire competition and all. But I guess I would go along with my other associates and say that one of the best things about it was actually coming together and sharing our ideas, getting the feedback and putting the design on paper. But for me personally, was the actual realization of what we had done. To see the drawing actually jump off the paper and come to life, and to see the interest of the people when it comes to the national dress itself. That is what is most satisfying to me. To see how it is embraced by the people and how it's recognized as the national dress for the Federation.
To be a part of a creation that will be worn by everyone in St. Kitts was quite appealing to me. So when the idea came to me by my sister Joylet, I was more than willing to take the opportunity and see if I can actually do something for my country and have everyone wear something that says grace in a little bit of it. So that is what really encouraged me to do it. From doing this, the most rewarding part of this entire project was to actually see it being made by the seamstresses. When I saw the model wearing it, that was the most, that was heartwarming. That was the best thing for me because I actually saw my creation, my thoughts actually being made and worn by an individual, and to see other persons in clean shows with it, that was the best thing for me.
Food is one of the most important things that we need to survive. It provides nourishment for our bodies, and when studied, it could also reveal information about the living environment of our ancestors.
In order to find a national dish for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, nationals were called upon to create a tasty and affordable meal that represent their culture.
Having been charged with looking after the execution of a national dish competition, first I got my committee together, after which we looked at guidelines by which the competition would be run. Some of the things we looked at were the type of ingredients and the affordability, preparation time. After this, we sent out flyers and invited the general public, both home and abroad, to participate in the competition. We had registration here at the ministry, and we received quite a number of applications, of registrants rather. Persons were required to submit their recipes along with a photo of the dish, so that the judges would have something to be guided by before they actually look at the dish. After this, we set aside a date for the actual judging of the dish, which was done here in the ministry's conference room.
The three things that we were looking for was presentation, ease of preparation, and texture. Also, we figured that flavors of the Caribbean would play a key part in the final choosing of the winner of the dish.
I enjoyed the participation of all who entered, and I saw that they really put out an effort. So that was encouraging for me, that, you know, they didn't just put something together and send it. they put a lot of thought into it, and that was something that I know people was trying their uttermost best. Okay, I wasn't expecting professional stuff, right? But they really tried, and I like that very much. And the support that we got, I feel good about it too. For the national dish competition, I realized that we had a lot of people who submitted a lot of fish dishes. There was a lot of snapper, which is traditionally one of our favorite food to eat. The steamed snapper with the fungi. We saw a lot of those, and that's why we decided to, in addition to judging the best dish, we decided to have different categories, meaning that we had so much fish dishes, we decided to judge which one was the best tasting fish and which one was the most traditional food. It was something that was outstanding.
I started thinking, what can I do that would reflect what the people used to cook in the old days? In the days when I was growing up, I can recall saltfish was a commonplace food item, and dumpling and plantain and breadfruit were equally popular. So with those basic items in mind, I started thinking again, how can I make this very simple dish tasty and appealing to the eyes?
Jacqueline Ryan, the creator of the recipe, is going to show us how easy it is to prepare the St. Kitts-Nevis national dish. It consists of stewed saltfish, coconut dumplings, spicy plantain, and seasoned breadfruit.
Yes, it sounds wonderful.
To make stewed saltfish, you need the following ingredients: 1 pound of saltfish, 1 pound tomatoes chopped, 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 6 scallions finely chopped, 1 small onion chopped, 1 green pepper diced, 5 cloves of garlic chopped, 2 tablespoons of margarine, 2 tablespoons of parsley chopped, salt and pepper to taste. Soak the saltfish overnight, then boil in fresh water until tender. Drain fish. Remove bones and scale, then flake. Heat oil in a large heavy saucepan. Add pepper, scallion, onion, and garlic. Cover and cook over low heat for 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. Add tomatoes and simmer over moderate heat until heat through for about 2 to 3 minutes. Flaked saltfish along with margarine, salt and pepper. make spicy plantains, you need 3 medium-sized plantains peeled and chopped into half-inch pieces, 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger peeled and grated, 1 small onion grated, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of hot sauce or finely chopped pepper. Combine all the ingredients in a bowl and toss until mixed. Then fry in batches until golden brown. Remove and drain on paper towels. To make coconut dumplings, you need 1/2 cup of grated coconut, 1½ cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 tablespoon of margarine, and 1/2 cup of water. Place flour, coconut, salt, margarine, and oil into a bowl. Gradually stir in the water to make a stiff dough. Roll out 1/4-inch tape. Cut the dough into 1-inch wide strips, or make the dumplings into the shape of your choice. Boil some water, add salt, and slide the dumplings into the water. Cover and cook for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. To make seasoned breadfruit, you can prepare the breadfruit in any other form that you choose. For this one, you will need 3 cups of full breadfruit cooked and chopped into 1-inch pieces, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon unsalted butter or margarine, 1/2 cup of red pepper diced, 1 medium onion chopped, 4 cloves of garlic crushed, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley chopped, 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves, 1/2 cup chicken broth or 1 cube dissolved in 1/2 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Melt butter or margarine in a heavy saucepan over medium heat. Add oil and onions. Cook for 5 to 8 minutes or until golden brown. Then add garlic, thyme, red pepper, and parsley. Saute for 30 seconds. When done, remove from heat, add breadfruit with chicken broth or other prepared liquid. Toss gently to blend and heat through. Season to taste with salt and pepper. Arrange saltfish on a dinner plate, sprinkle with parsley and serve with coconut dumplings, spicy plantain and seasoned breadfruit.
Now that you know the national dish of St. Kitts and Nevis, I hope that you become experts at making it. Whether you make it at home or you sample it in one of our many fine restaurants, I'm sure that you'll enjoy a delicious piece of our culture.
We hope to meet you on the beach on the anniversary of our next independence and proudly wearing the national wear of St. Kitts and Nevis. I saw you go.